All right. Anybody have any questions from the weekend?
Oh.
Good. Which one? All right, let's take a look at 33 real quick. Here we go. Now, this one is a nice problem. All right, it's a nice problem because we can just add. Stick around.
I'll be here till 3:30.
All right, perfect. I'll see you.
Yeah. I'll be in the store.
All right, perfect. I'll be there. All right, now listen, do me a favor here. We're adding these. All right, we're adding. So we have this straight across. All right, when you add, you ended up with 9x is equal to 40. So now we have x is equal to 40 over 9. Now the reason why this is a good one is because it's dealing with a fraction. All right? Again, the lesson is not dealing with fractions. The lesson is doing a substitution. So here we go. We're going to plug 49ths in for x. And when I do that, 7 times 40 over 9 plus 5y equals 25. Now on your calculator you could do 70 times 40 over 9, but everybody in here should just be able to tell me 7 times 4 is 28. So it'd be 280 over 9 plus 5y equals 25. If you didn't know that though, think about it for a second. All right, 7 times 40 is 280 over 9. Right now, again, if that's a problem, just type in on your calculator 7 times 40 divided by 9, and then hit math, enter, enter, and it'll convert it to 280 over 9. All right. Now we're going to subtract 280 over 9, subtract 280 over 9. Now again, on your calculator, if you needed to, you just type in 25 minus 280 over 9. All right. And when you do that, all right, this becomes 225 over 9. And then when you subtract, you end up with negative 55 over 9. And then when you divide by 5, y is equal to negative 11 over 9. All right. And so the solution here, we go back and write it as 40 over 9, comma, negative 11 over 9.
Can you do like the y?
Yeah, that's what we're doing next. I'm going to do everything. All right, now the most important thing is I really want your attention if you want to make 100 on the test. All right, here's how you're going to double check your work. All right, when you double check your work, you're isolating the y. So y1 is equal to 25 minus 7x, and then you divide it by what? Divided by 5. You good with that?
Yeah.
All right, now y2, you would say parentheses 15 minus 2x divided by negative 5. How's that going? Everybody? Everybody understand that? Everybody's good? All right. Now, what we're going to do is I want everybody to type that in on the calculator. Or under y1 and under y2, because I'm going to show you how you can check your answer even though it's a decimal. I'm going to show you how you can use your calculator to convert that decimal, all right, to a fraction. So everybody type that in under y1, type it in under y2. Then you go to second calc, second calc, then you hit the 5. Then you hit enter 3 times, and it'll give you, I think 49ths works out to be like 4.444444, if I'm not mistaken. And then negative 11 ninths became negative 1.22222. I think that's what it is. All right. Now, let's just say you didn't know that 49ths was that, and you didn't know that negative 11 ninths was that. I need everybody's attention up here now, real quick. Hey, listen to me. You have that on your calculator. Come on, every day, same thing, same story, Colin, hurry up. Boys, I need your attention real quick. I don't want you talking. All right, so did everybody get the intersection point? Now, the intersection point again was 4.4444, comma, and then it was negative 2.2222. All right, well, let's say we didn't know what that fraction was. Does everybody understand that this is the x-coordinate and this is the y-coordinate? Is everybody listening to me? Does everybody understand that's the x-coordinate and the y-coordinate, right? So now what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how your calculator can do the fraction. So I want everyone to go to your home screen. The home screen, just go second quit. Second quit, or you can just hit clear a couple times and it'll go to the home screen. Then when you found the point of intersection, it stored the x value and it stored that answer as the y value. So what I want you to do is I want you to hit the x, and then I want you to go to math and then enter, and it'll convert it to 40 over 9. Is that true? Does everybody see that? That was the x. So now we're just verifying that we got the right answer. Beautiful, right? You didn't do the point of intersection.
Oh, I thought, okay.
Come on. You didn't even type those in. I know. Come on, that's what I mean. You've got to listen, not half. Hey, still quiet.
We got
I'm talking to Alex. Negative, oh yeah, that's what it was. Thank you very much. It is negative 1.222. Thank you. All right. Now, here's how you can determine your y value. Didn't you hear me just say it stored it as y, right? So, in order to figure out what the y is, you're going to do y, you're going to hit the alpha button, and then the y value is where the 1 is. So if you hit alpha and then hit 1, y will come up. Does that make sense? And then you hit math, enter, and it'll convert that to a fraction for you. So you can tell if you did it right. Did you see what I did? Did you understand me?
Alpha, what's after alpha?
The 1, you hit alpha, then 1, because the 1 is the y value. Do you see what I'm saying? And then hit math, enter, and that will change it to a fraction for you. Does everybody agree with that? Of course, the obvious way is to just take 40 divided by 9 also and see if that matches up with your decimal, and negative 11 divided by 9 and see if that. But I think the more you use the calculator, the more you can see how powerful the calculator is. All right, is everybody with me on this? Any questions? Nobody? Okay, so I'm pretty happy with that. All right, that was 33. Somebody else now, tell me. Good.
I know this isn't 1 through 40, but it's...
Anybody else while he's looking? Yes.
Oh, it's 50.
All right, let's take a quick look at 50.
Because
All
when
right.
I try to graph it...
Just be quiet for a second. All right, so here we go for question number 50. Now, part of the problem with number 50 is if you're not careful, you won't see that the variables are changed. Does everybody see this? All right, so you should rewrite it. And what I mean by that is 4x plus 2y equals 70, and then x plus 2y equals 55. Do you see that, Jack, or not?
Yeah, I do.
Right? Then you're just going to multiply by negative 1. And when you multiply by negative 1, you get negative x minus 2y equals negative 55. Then if you bring down the other one, 4x plus 2y equals 70. Then when you add them, the y's cancel. 3x equals 15, so x equals 5. You with me now? All right, then you just plug 5 in for x. When I do that, I end up with 20 plus 2y equals 70. 2y equals 50, so y looks to me like what? 25. Agreed? All right, so your answer would be 5, 25. All right, 5, 25. All right, tell me.
Number 44.
Man, you guys, I appreciate it. 44, here we go. Now listen, we're not going to do this one on the test because it has decimals, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you what I would want you to do. And again, this shouldn't be that much more difficult other than the fact that it has what? Decimals. It's just annoying. It has decimals. But if you paid attention, you could understand how I would just multiply the top by 2.6, and I would multiply the bottom by what? 1.6. You with me? And then you just, honestly, you just have to be careful. All right? So now, what did I tell you about the first 40? Those are the ones I want you to concentrate on. All right, I want everyone to concentrate on the first 40. All right, the other ones were just extra practice. All right, but if you feel like you can do 1 through 40, I'm sure you can make 100 on the test. All right, so now your job right now is kind of sit down and flip through 1 through 40 and tell me which one you want me to do. $38. All right, let's see about 38. All right, so now you have several options here. I can multiply this by what? Do you agree with that? To multiply that by -2? Julia, do you see that? And that way the x will eliminate. Do you agree with that? All right, so if I multiply that by -2, I get -2x plus 6y equals 20. Then when I add those together, it looks to me like I get 7y equals 21. You agree with that? And so y would have to equal what? 3. Now I'm taking 3.
Wait, why would it be 20?
Isn't 20 plus 1 21?
Wait, but don't you just find -2 by -2?
And what do I get?
20?
Okay, good.
Oh, I see. Okay.
All right, so now y equals 3. So then we would have x minus 9 equals -10. So x equals -1. So the solution is -1 comma 3. The solution is -1 comma 3. All right. Now what? Now the y parentheses -10 minus x divided by -3. That's under y1. You understand that? Allison, how are you doing on that? y2. What am I doing for y2? 1 minus 2x. Do I really need the parentheses here? No, this will just be divided by 1. All right, type that in. And find the point of intersection now. Everybody do me a favor and do that. Practicing. You understand what we're doing? How are you going to do? Let's go. Come on. How much work did you do this weekend? Probably not that much.
I didn't do that.
That's exactly right. Why you're
It
in trouble tomorrow.
was my dad's birthday.
Oh,
And
explain
and
that.
my birthday. It was both.
Explain that. I like that.
I got it.
How did are you asking me how I got -9?
No, how did you get those?
Because 21 divided by 7 is 3. Look right here. I just ran out of room.
Oh, yeah. Wait, I don't get
I added 1y plus 6y is 7y. Come on now.
where did you get 6 from?
I multiplied this by 2.
Where did you get
So here's my original problem. Hey, now you're listening. Come on. I'm not sure why you're asking me where did I get -2 from. You with me? But because no, I don't want you. I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to eliminate. So I need this to be what number? I need that to be a what? -2. Why do I want it to be a -2? Because when I add it, it will do what?
where did you get the
Because I thought about the problem and I said, wow, I can't really add these right now because nothing will cancel. So I need this to be a -2, so when I add them, they will cancel. So I have to multiply that equation by -2. So they will cancel. Are you listening?
Yes, sir.
Do you know why I'm multiplying this by -2?
Yes, because so you can subtract it.
So I can cancel the x's. I could also multiply this bottom equation by what? What do I want this to be? So I could multiply that equation by. Don't listen to anybody. What am I multiplying this equation by? 3. Because it's already what? You understand me now? Come on now. Some of you making me nervous now. All right, very nervous. All right, I need to do another one where you have to multiply both equations. If you're having trouble with that one, you're going to have trouble with the one you have to multiply both of them by. So we need to find one of those. All right, that's what you need to do. Now, do I need to go any further than that, or are you pretty good now with that explanation?
I think
Do you want me to do it again, or are you good?
okay.
All right, so let's look at question number 36. I want everybody on 36. Okay, Emily, you're up. Tell me what to do.
We multiply 6 by 4.
Yay, okay. But one has to be what? You understand me now, right? So listen now. You don't have to write this down because there's a better way. 4 and -6. There's nothing I can do because I feel like you're not listening to me. I just feel that way. Come on. You should be looking up there going, oh, okay, that makes sense. If it doesn't make sense, now you ask. That's why I'm nervous about you tomorrow. Because I don't feel like you're with me at all. All right? Now, Emily, are you good on that? Now, I could, please watch, boys. I could multiply this by 2 and this by -3. Emily, do you agree with that? Because now they're both what? But one's -12. Do you agree with me? That's all we're doing. That's simple. Now, I could also do by 7 and -5. And that would eliminate the y's. So you have choices, right? It doesn't matter which choice you pick, you'll get the right answer. Do you understand that? Because now the y's are going to cancel out. All right? Now, I prefer to multiply this by 2 and -3 because the numbers are just smaller instead of 4 and 6. Emily, are you agreeing with me on this? You doing all right? All right, so let's do that and see what's going on. So if I multiply the top by 2, I get 12x minus 10y equals -20. -12x plus 21y equals 75. Emily, are you good with that? Because somebody asked me how I got that. You good?
Good.
Now we know we're good because what happens to these two? Help me out. What happens? They cancel out. The 12x and the -12x are going to cancel out when I add them. That's your objective. All right, so I draw my line underneath it. And what's 21 minus 10? 11y equals 55. Everybody happy with that? And so y has to equal what? Y equals 5. Now what we do is we just plug 5 back in. All right, so now it has 6x minus 25 equals -10. Anybody have a problem with that? You good? Now it's just solving that equation. So I add 25. 6x equals 15. So x equals 15 over 6. And I reduce by 3 gives me 5 over 2. Okay? Now, if my answer is 5 over 2, my solution then would be the x first, followed by the y. 5 over 2, comma 5. Alex? All right, now let's do our equation. Y1. Someone be loud and proud and tell me what Y1, how do I solve that? What's it going to be?
Negative
Good.
10 minus 6x.
I'm proud. Divided by -5. Beautiful. Now your job is to say, I'm not sure how fast and how you did that so fast. I don't know. If you don't know how I did that so fast or how Jack did that so fast, now you ask. You good or no? Yeah, that's not hard. Will, I can't read your mind, but it looks as if you have no idea what I'm saying.
How come it's minus 6x?
Because I pick the 6x and I move it to the other side. When you move it, it becomes what? Yes. If it's positive, it becomes negative. All right? So now, what I want you to do under Y2, try to write in Y2 quickly. Right now, type in Y2 quickly before Miss Bragdon. It's no calculator. You don't need a calculator. You have to write it first before you type it on your calculator. All right, Miss Bragdon.
It's -25 minus 4 divided by 57.
Beautiful. Good. Perfect. It's not that hard. Allison, how are we doing on that?
Good.
Allison, good? Kate, you know what you're doing, right? Now, everybody type that in on the calculator. The decimal is 5/2, 5. 5/2 is the same as 2.5. And if you don't know what that decimal is, you type it on your calculator, X, and then math, enter, and it will tell you. If you didn't get that right answer, Miss Bragdon, you did something wrong when you typed it in. Go back to Y equals and figure out what you made a mistake on. Now, when you told me the answer, you left out the X, so I'm assuming that's probably what you did. Am I right? Look up. Everybody see. Make sure what you're typing in. The biggest mistake is that you're typing it in incorrectly. A minus and a negative, they're different on the calculator. Colin, are you okay over there? You know what we're doing? 100 out of you tomorrow. You back on track yet?
Yes, sir.
Boys, you guys act like there's no problem. Everybody's good? What? What did we say the answer was? 5/2, 5. Is 2.5 the same as 5/2? Let's say I don't know. What do I want you to do? I want you to go to second quit. I'm going to distribute X value. I want to know if it's a fraction. Math, enter. There you go. All right, nice. Simple. Simple. All right, someone else, please tell me what we can do. Let's just go ahead and practice 35 because that's the hard one. 35 is the hard one. And like I said, if you can do 35, then you should get 100 on the test. If you can't do 35, I'm saying about a 70 maybe. All right? Everybody try 35 real quick. All right, Allison. Try to tell me, kiddo. What am I doing?
Multiply and top by -3.
And the bottom by? Yay. Perfect. We're in business. Simple as that. If you can do that, then you get 100 on the test. Now you just have to be careful with your multiplication. You don't make a mistake. All right, so if I multiply by -3, double check your work now. -18x minus 24y equals -12. Then multiplying by 2, 18x plus 20y equals 14. Allison, now, is that what you got when you did the multiplication? All right, now what? Yes, they sure would. The 18s cancel. Now what? equals? Perfect. Now, here's the most common mistake. Now, people look at that and say -2. It's not -2. It's not -2, so don't make that mistake. Visualize, I'm dividing by -4. So it's the fraction what? 2/4, which is the same as -1/2. All right, so that's what I'm saying. You can make a mistake if you're not careful on the arithmetic. So far, so good? Now, I plug -1/2 in for y. So 6x plus 8 times -1/2 equals 4. 6x minus 4 equals 4. Right? Right? See everybody else? Come on now. You're figuring out. So 6x equals 8. So x equals, do me a favor, just write 8/6 first. And then 8 divided by 6 reduces to what? 4/3. Everybody okay with that? And so now we're writing it as 4/3, comma, -1/2. Ben, is that okay? Hundreds all tomorrow. Everybody can get 100. Now is whether or not you can check your work. So let's check your work here. So y1 is what?
4 minus 6x.
Yes. Beautiful. Thank you. Now if you're having trouble, come on, speak up. Everybody else is working. I'm seeing constant, y2, someone.
7 minus 9.
Beautiful. That's exactly what I want to hear from you guys. All right. Now, please, everybody go to the calculator, type it in the calculator, and if you don't know how to convert it on your calculator, let me know, because this is a fraction, and you want to be able to double check your work for your fraction. Good. Now, look at this. This is not hard. So now we're going to quit. So what happens is it stored it as x, and that stored the answer as y. Now we can go to quit. We want the x value. We want to figure out what that fraction is. Now I need the y value. Alpha. Number 1, so that's fraction. So it will take what's stored. Right, so let's go. Well, you good? I mean it now. Oh, you're good. All right. Come on. Does anybody else want me to do another one? Let's just try 40. Everybody go to 40. Everybody look at 40, please. Now this one should be pretty easy for you, right? Because we can just what? Add them right up, right? So if I add them right up, come on. What happens here? And here?
Cancel.
So 0 equals 5.
Which is that.
Is what?
150.
No solution. Now again, somebody asked me, do I have to write parallel lines? No, I just know this explanation is important. If there isn't a solution, that means they're parallel lines. You with me? So on your test tomorrow, you can put no solution and be done. Yep. I just have to say it every time because I want you to remember. If they don't cross, there's no solution. Yes. I'm perfectly fine with that. That means you're listening. Right? Come on. Come on, let's go. Wake up. Math kind of gets me going here. Come on, man. It usually gets everybody going. All right? Yes, Jake's up here, man. Give me more, please. What's next? Yes, he is. All right, here we go. 39. Let's try 39. All right, so for 39, somebody look up and tell me what I need to do for 39. Is not an answer. Times multiplied by what? Well, there's lots of things you can do. It's not necessarily wrong, but say something. Come on. The worst you can be is wrong. What is it? Multiply what? Okay, so let's put a multiply by 2. Now, again, that's pretty good, except it would be negative 2y. So I want to multiply by what? Yes, now do you understand why we're multiplying by negative 2? Because then it becomes positive, which then makes it cancel. So even if you don't wrong, you can see when you go to add them, wow, negative 2 and negative 2 won't cancel, so I need to multiply by the negative then. You hear me? All right, that's not hard. All right, so now we multiply by negative 2. When I multiply by negative 2, it becomes negative 6x plus 2y equals 8. And x minus 2y equals 1. So here we go. Now when I add that, negative 6x plus x is what? Wow, you're asking me what's negative 6 plus 1 is. Yeah, negative 5x. That's part of the problem. Negative 5x equals what? 9, so x equals negative 9/5. Now, why answer the phone? Plug that in real quick. Yep. Okay.
This is your.
All right, Allison, we're leaving when the bell rings. All right? Your mama didn't want to get you earlier. She wanted you to see all the math problems. You should thank her. Okay? Lucky it is for you to stay for all the math.
All right.
All right, here we go. Now I'm plugging negative 9/5 in for x. Here we go. All right, you got to be careful again here because of the fraction. So I plug negative 9/5 in for x. So I get negative 9/5 minus 2y equals 1. Now I add 9/5 to both sides. Plus 9/5 plus 9/5. So I end up with negative 2y is equal to, well, 1 is 5/5. So 5/5 plus 9/5 is 14/5. And now when I divide by negative 2, y is negative 7/5. Right? So now my answer is negative 9/5, comma, negative 7/5. All right, now let's blow it up and see how we're doing with solving for y1 and solving for y2. All right, well, you want to tell me what y1 is going to be?
Negative 1.
I'm moving the x over.
Oh, yeah, yes. So that would be.
Just look up on the board. Come on, look up. Look up. I'm moving the x over. So it becomes 1 minus x.
Oh, 1 minus x
I'm-
times negative
Except I am dividing, not multiplying. Come on, come on. Now I want you to do the next one. Come on, you got this. Hold on a second. All right. Now y2. Tell me.
That would be negative 4.
Good. And then
Minus 3x
beautiful. And then
divided by 1.
what kind of one?
1.
What-
Negative 1.
-1. -1. Come on. You got that? Divide by the number in front of the y. That's all there is to it. Now, everybody type that in. What?
How do you get negative 7/5?
14 divided by 2 is 7. Right? You with me? Look right here. I'll show you. So when you divide, sometimes with fractions, this right here, look right here, this is what I'm dividing by. So 14 divided by -2. 14 divided by -2 happens to be -7. Right? Or you could say I'm multiplying by the reciprocal times -1/2. And 14 divided by 2, 7. -7/5. So now I have the solution. -9/5, -7/5. Now everybody type in under y1. Then type in under y2. Find the point of intersection. Now again, you should come up with, I believe, -1.8, comma, -1.4. When you do that, all right, you can convert that to a fraction. All right, tomorrow, 10 problems. All right, 10 points each. Check your answer with a calculator.
I had double like that.
Hit the road.
So
14 divided by 2. That was a tough one.
Well, no, I know, but